people that have been subscribed to me for a while know that I do OMAD fasting. So for at least 5 years now, I've been doing OMAD fasting, at least 300 out of 365 days per year, which means most days. Okay, I've been doing OMAD fasting long term, and most days I do OMAD fasting. On a rare occasion, I eat more than one time after breaking my fast. So I fast 20 hours at least time per day, and that's called OMAD fasting, 1 meal per day. How long I've been doing that? 5+ years. And on a rare occasion, I eat more than once. So I'd say 300 at least out of 365 days per year. The last 5+ years, I've been OMAD fasting, and maybe 25 days per year, I've eaten 3 times of full in a day. And do you understand? So most days OMAD fasting. 25 out of 30 days per month at least OMAD fasting. On a rare occasion, I eat more than once. And I do OMAD fast without food noise. I've seen people, fitness influencers, talk about the food noise and helping coach people have a hard time to put the fork down and stop eating. And I guess these people are like eating 3-4 times per day, and they still go around hungry and think about food all the time, having food noise. Okay. Me, I'm doing OMAD fasting 1 time per day. I wake up in the morning, don't eat breakfast, don't eat lunch, don't eat in the afternoon. Typically, I have my OMAD meal towards the end of the day, not long before going to bed. So I eat 1 time per day. I don't go around being hungry all the time. I don't go around dealing with food noise, so-called. So proper supplementation can help you with fasting. I don't recommend people start doing OMAD fasting, at least not without getting supplementation right first. So in this video, I'm going to be doing OMAD meal prepping. I'm going to be cooking my OMAD meal, start cooking it. Put on the community moderation here, put this to mode, subscribers, 1 minute, message delay, slow mode, go for 7 seconds this time. Just a second. 7 seconds. Yeah, I'm going 7 seconds there. Here. And the angle that I want. I'm going to do over here. Help me to have the store only visible. Yeah. Okay. So, first of all, coffee. I'm making the 3rd cup of coffee today, super strength coffee. I get around 1,000 milligrams of caffeine per day, personally. And my super strength coffee, I don't make that instant coffee powder. Then I add 200 milligrams of caffeine from a caffeine capsule, which I open and empty the powder in there. And I like to throw in a pinch of salt, natural salt, Himalayan salt or sea salt in there. And now I have coconut milk at home, so I add a little bit of coconut milk to it. So that enhances the hydration effect of the coffee. So this is coffee cup number 3. Coffee powder is my favorite instant coffee powder. Since I found that, tried it in the supermarket, Nescafe Zero. It remains my favorite. This is my favorite instant coffee powder. It's espresso, instant espresso powder. It's my favorite instant coffee powder. And here's the caffeine capsule, which I open the caffeine. So I call it super strength coffee. Why? Because it has a lot higher caffeine content than regular coffee. So it's super strength coffee. So I take a 200 milligram caffeine capsule, open it, empty it in the coffee cup, and then put in some coffee powder there. So it's super strong. And regular size, a regular like black Americano, a regular cup of coffee contains around, I think it's 75 milligrams of caffeine. Like a regular, run-of-the-mill regular cup of coffee, somewhere around 75 milligrams of caffeine. So my coffee has at least 200 grams of caffeine. So that's super strong contrasted to the average cup of coffee. So now, since I'm on YouTube, I need to do medical disclaimer. Nothing I've said in this video, when I talk about what I do, what supplements I take, how much caffeine I get per day, that's not a recommendation to other people. I'm not a doctor. Talk to a doctor, licensed physician, for making any changes to diet, lifestyle, supplementation, and medication. Okay. And the reason, disclaimer, is if I go I'd recommend people who start getting 6 grams of RMC per day. And I go, do disclaimer, I'll talk about health stuff on YouTube. And I go, okay, then I do disclaimer. The reason I do a disclaimer after talking about health fitness is not that I think they could kill somebody taking my advice. It's to protect myself from medical misinformation strikes on YouTube. Okay, that's the reason. So I make sure to let people know I'm not a doctor giving prescriptions to people. If I talk about my health fitness coach is people need to get this much vitamin C per day. Okay, I'm not a doctor. Okay, so anyway, the average American is obese, understand, fat. Okay, and the most common fitness goal people have is to lose fat, but they don't want to put down the fork. They don't want to stop being a discipline lacking lover of pleasures who's slothful and gluttonous. See, they want to have both ways. They want to lose weight. They want to have their cake and eat it too. It's like they want to have the physique of a disciplined man who's not fat and soft without becoming hard in the character and masking the character. Be like, I eat a low sugar diet. I fast 20 hours per day. I take my supplements. I'm not going to be a slob. But I don't want to have the soft physique from living soft. See, I want to live soft. And oh, it feels good to eat mouth pleasure. And it's hard to be disciplined. It's hard to fast. It's hard to exercise. It's hard to take supplements and stuff. But okay, so I'm ripped with a six pack. Ripped yes, bitch. Okay, I'm ripped with a six pack. Okay, and at 36. Okay, I'm uncommon as uncommon men, like David Goggins talks about. David Goggins talks about being uncommon amongst uncommon men. That's me, understand? Only one in 25,000 men have a six pack above 35, understand? Have visible abs. I'm 36 with a six pack. Okay, that makes me uncommon amongst men. You know what makes me uncommon amongst uncommon men? How little work I put in exercising and the fact that I'm not on TRT, HRT. So I do believe that in the rare fitness elite or men about 35, they are not like fat and they're like in shape enough to have visible abs, understand? I'm uncommon myself because I believe a lot of the guys about 35 that do have six pack, eight pack abs, they're gonna be on roids. They're gonna be on HRT, TRT or something like this. So I enjoy being uncommon as a common man. Now, do not live an ordinary man's life and expect to be anything but ordinary. Don't live a common man's life and expect anything but being common. I'm going to eat common amounts of sugar every day. I'm going to be calmly undisciplined with my diet. I'm going to be taking common types and amounts of supplements, meaning getting less than a gram of vitamin C per day. Okay? I'm going to take common amounts, 80 plus grams of sugar per day, according to statistics that measure consumes. And I'm going to expect to be anything but common, averagely obese and soft and fat and out of shape, understand? See? So if you want to be extraordinary, do you want to be in extraordinary shape, you need to live an extraordinary life. See? I'm a person, extraordinary, really fit, ripped with a six-pack with this bitch. Okay? Okay. And that's extraordinary. See? That's rare. Oh, and the guy with a rare physique is living a real lifestyle. He takes the guy with extraordinary physique, athletic performance, energy, stamina, he takes extraordinary amounts of sugar. No, he eats extraordinary low amounts of sugar. He takes extraordinary amounts of vitamin C, extraordinary, above baseline, above average. See? The average person gets sub 1,000 milligram amounts of vitamin C per day. You should believe that. Less than 1 gram per day of vitamin C is what the average person gets. Okay? They get 80 plus grams of sugar per day. And no wonder that they're so fat, soft, lazy, no ripped, with a six-pack ass having holes, understand? Ripped ass bitch, suck it, understand? So that no wonder that they're so soft, understand? Because they're living soft. And using the software. That's a whole other thing. I've been teaching, you don't understand how incredibly valuable I've been to people. Okay. I've been teaching my protocols for years, understand? What is Mike SAHA's health fitness protocol been? 1, quit the sugar. If I'm going to quit the sugar, at least dramatically reduce your daily sugar intake. Aim to stay below 20 grams of sugar per day as an upper tolerable limit. Worst case scenario, okay, you get like 18 grams of sugar per day, 19 or something like this. So the reason why I say quit the sugar, okay, I could go eat less sugar, is if people are looking for a protocol to be like get as much health fitness benefit as possible. Oh yeah, quit the sugar, I understand, 100% yesterday. If you don't have a time machine, quit 100% today, okay? Now, it's enough to eat a lot less sugar to have a lot of improvement, okay? So, my protocol basically is eat less sugar, okay? Cut down on the sugar. Aim to stay below 20 grams of sugar as opposed to the 80 plus average American consumes. The average American consumes above 80 grams of sugar per day, according to statistics. I get less than 10, understand? Consistently. So, we're looking to improve health fitness with Mike's health fitness coaching protocol. It's a protocol that if you get on a protocol, you have good effect. Less sugar, stay below 2 grams of sugar per day. Detox your life generally, which means replace as many of these toxic chemical hydrogen cleaner products as possible that most people are using commonly with more natural alternatives, such as Aleppo soap, from the softener. Do you understand the matrix system? God, what I can see. It's like softener contains chemicals that, according to my research studies, endocrine disruptors can lower your testosterone. See? And if testosterone goes down, body fat goes up. So it's like, here's the thing. We got what I can see, I'd like to matrix system. They hydrogen in the same view. So know what I know, not being weak and down like the average person, having decent pattern recognition and recall ability. It's like, I know testosterone. It's like visual indicators. There's a connection between testosterone being low and body fat being high. So one of the most reliable indicators of testosterone levels having declined from a previous level is adipose tissue collection in the abdominal region. Meaning, if a person has a lot of belly fat, that indicates that they have lower testosterone than men that don't have a lot of belly fat, or lower testosterone than they did when they had less belly fat, okay? So like a good tell of testosterone levels having declined is a lot of belly fat, see? And body fat generally. So if testosterone goes down, body fat goes up. What happens if you get more body fat? You look soft, see? So if your testosterone goes down, you've been softened. You gotta soften up, you look softer now, like the missionary. You have more fat, you're softer. Not hard, understand? With lean, low body fat, you have a hard physique, okay? The opposite of soft. One of the things, according to my research, is lower mass testosterone. Softener, see? What's another thing low testosterone? Sugar. I'm not joking, Google sugar testosterone. There's a study, top search of Google, gonna be blood serum levels of testosterone post ingestion of a sugary beverage, something like this. Okay, and it's gonna be lower. Okay, so soft serve ice cream, soft drinks, lower testosterone. Softener can lower testosterone. What happens with low testosterone? The main body gets softer. Soft serve ice cream, soft drinks, softener. See, they had it in plain view. So anyway, then we get into the matrix system detailed now, and that's a little bit. So here's the point. My protocol is this: I want to be healthier, mentally, physically, improve, cut down on the sugar, aim to stay below 20 grams of sugar per day. And I think the small size Coke used to have 35 grams of sugar in it before. So they'd be like, do you understand how easy it is? People go, if I tell the statistics, people consume 88 plus grams of sugar per day. Well, a lot of sodas, even small soda, has like 20 plus grams of sugar in it. Okay, and some people drink 3 or 4 of those a day. So, if you want to improve your health, fitness, man or woman, here's my protocol: cut down on daily sugar intake. Aim to stay below 20 grams of sugar per day as an upper tolerable limit. And that's like a protocol that is not impossible to get on, understand? If I put it like to go 0 grams, okay, there's few people who will do it. But if you go from 80 plus to 20 minus, that's improvement, okay? So if you aim to stay below 20 grams of sugar per day, day to day, go on a low sugar diet. That's gonna make a lot of difference for you, okay? And yeah, so there's the protocol. Mike's Pro Health Fitness protocol. Cut down on the sugar. Aim to stay about 20 grams of sugar per day. The closer to 0, the better. Okay. But below 20 grams of sugar per day. And keep a high sugar day. I don't eat sweets or treats. I don't eat ice cream, cookies, candy. It's like at worst, I live as I learn. I get less than 20 grams of sugar per day. I want to eat 1 time per day, which makes it even easier to make sure it's less than 20 grams of sugar. And as an example, I don't I've had very rare cheat days that become even more rare. So I've been maintaining low sugar diet, OMAD fasting. Those are not soft, okay? Because I live discipline. Eat low sugar diet, doing OMAD fasting for 5+ years, mean fasting 20+ hours, eating 1 time per day, okay? And it's not a fad I started yesterday. I've been doing this for 5+ years, eating 1 time per day, fasting on 23 hours per day. And 365 days periods at least. And on a rare occasion, I do 2 med after breaking my fast. On an even rare occasion, it'd be like 3 or 4 med. And maintain low sugar diet, less than 2 grams of sugar per day. And if I look back like 6 months, cheat meals have become more and more rare. And I've had full months with like now 1 cheat day, understand? So it'd be standard, I'd be like, once I got on low sugar diet, stay below 20 grams of sugar, eat an extreme low sugar diet daily, OMAD fasting, low sugar. And I go, okay, it's been like 2 weeks, no sweets, no treats, no nothing. And it's like, let's have a cheat day. I go to the supermarket, buy ice cream and some chocolate sauce or this and pig out on the stuff. And it precisely that cheat day, it'd be, most of it would be 2 days. Because I buy enough cheat meal stuff to where I don't finish it day one. Because then I buy like 2 packs of ice cream and I finish one of them after my omelet meal. And there's some left the next day and I finish that. So a lot of times it'd be 2 days, cheat days in a row. So anyways, the point. Now cheat days have become more and more rare. So it used to be maybe once every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, like once or twice a month I have a cheat period, okay, a day or 2. And they become even more rare, okay. So I don't go in for sweets, okay, and neither should you if you want to be healthier. So yeah, so I eat a low sugar diet, okay. And there's no cookies, no sweets, no treats, no nothing, understand? And they want to be a good dog, your matrix system play, we live like we want you to. Okay, the deep state have a sugar agenda, which I've been making videos, decode the matrix system, where the deep state symbolized by Mr. Candy in the Django Chain movie, he symbolizes the deep, Mike Sam movie decode, deciphering. That guy symbolizes the deep state power elites. They're like the matrix system, you are a slave neos. It's like they manage society and we want to control everybody, like the evil slave owner in the Django Unchained movie. Mr. Candy, white cake, anybody's one of the scenes. And then the protagonist is like against him, going there to feed the slaves. The opposite of what he is. He rides into town on a dental bag with a tooth on it. Because he's the solution to the problem that he is, Mr. Candy with his white cake, the bad guy slave owner. And the guy is like a solution to it, is introduced riding a dental bike with a tooth on it, like a dental. Old West, they had like a dental truck. Because I guess in the Old West, they didn't have like, you know, like you have in the Western Spain, the West, they have like an outpost, like a town, and they have like a bar and like a church, and maybe like a store. Okay, but maybe not every outpost town had like a dental office there. So it'd be like a traveling ambulatory dentist who comes to town maybe over the weekend and be like, dentistry, everybody sets up shop and people can come, somebody got toothache can come to him and get it extracted or something like this. Okay, so notice how that's a solution to that problem. This is the type of stuff the government can see that makes it be dangerous to the deep state. Okay, so not only have I been telling you people, Christians and others, how to be healthy, process being health, okay, cut down the sugar. I've been showing that there's a satanic agenda by the deep state to have you eating high sugar diet to keep you controlled and more easy to deceive. One effect of sugar dumps you down. If people take my advice, less sugar and start taking vitamin C, they notice a lot of people get sharper, they feel smarter, sharper. Understand? If they eat less sugar and they supplement vitamin C, enough to ensure that they're not severely deficient in vitamin C. Okay? So, the deep state use sugar as a control mechanism. And that also ties in my decode or no counterforming movie by the Coen brothers, where sugar, he symbolizes the substance sugar and the power elites. Just like they talk about this agenda, yeah, we got the masses eating high sugar diet to control them. See, notice we got what I can see. There's nobody else doing things like this. It's like being able to decode how movies being like in the Matrix. When Neo can see the code in the Matrix, see what the code says, there's 2 agents there. Okay, or the guy in the Daily movie that sees the same pop culture things, but he can see the deeper message. See? That's why I'm on that. Wait, do you understand? It's like most people saw no come from me. I'm the first guy to go, oh, there's hidden truths in here. Like the surface level. Sugar is sugar, I understand. It symbolizes the deep state psychopathic power elites. They control Hollywood and the whole world. They control it all. And the substance sugar, which they use to control the masses. See? And a lot of people are dying every year because the deep state have got the mass in a high sugar diet. Okay? And that is also shown in my other decode, Django Unchained. It deals with the same thing. Where this man is a figure of the deep state. Shigur, Mr. Kennedy, they're a figure of the deep state. And both movies deal with how they control the masses. And a major thing is the sugar that they've been using. Keep the mass on a high sugar diet. There's a lot of people dying every year because you're a high sugar diet. Leading to tooth infection that can lead to heart attacks and strokes. And people getting fat and obesity all-cause mortality. You can search obesity all-cause mortality and see, like, are you more likely to die this year if you're obese versus if you're slim? Okay. Now, anyway, that's a little bit kind of overcourse, okay? It's like the master class, I understand, but it's like for just entry level, teaching you the nuts and bolts of how to be healthy, understand? Okay. So I'm sick and tired of being under attack all the time, understand? So here's the point. So okay, so I got that out of the way now. So anyway, here's the point. So anyway, here's the thing. Yeah. So when I talk about low sugar, I live as I learn. I'm not like a Pharisee who give like grievous burdens, grievous to be born to people. I don't lift a finger myself, understand? I preach a low sugar diet, I eat a low sugar diet. I preach discipline, I eat 1 time per day, fast 100+ hours. And I have the discipline to see candy in the supermarket and sometimes go, maybe I have a cheat today. No, you know what? No. Okay, see? Okay. So anyway, I've been maintaining a low sugar diet, okay? Less than 10 grams of sugar per day. And since I do OMAD fasting, it's easy for me to keep track of the grams of sugar. I said it before. People like tracking calories and counting this and that. You want to count something, count carbs. Even more importantly, sugar, okay? Grams of sugar, white defined sugar. You want to count something for your health fitness. You count grams of sugar per day, aiming to keep it low, understand? See? Because that calories, yeah, you can have a lot of olive oil and coconut oil and protein and stuff and get a lot of calories, but if it's very hard to get fat if you're not over consuming carbohydrates, understand? Okay. So anyways, the point. So what I mean when I say maintain low sugar diet, and since I don't even count it, I do OMAD fast, it's kind of easy for me. So it's not like I eat 3 times per day and have some condiment with some sugar in every time, and it'd be like, how much is it? It's like, I get less than 20 grams of sugar per day. So how much that play? I'm about to start cooking my OMAD meal. And what is the OMAD meal going to be like? It's going to be gluten-free pasta. There's no sugar, white refined sugar in there. Gluten-free pasta. Some eggs possibly. Maybe a can of macrophen tomato sauce. Maybe some canned sausages, okay? And I might have a deciliter of this, okay? And this has, per 100 gram of product, 17 grams of sugar. Now here's the thing, sugars, okay? Carbohydrates out of which sugars. I do believe that when they put the sugars, they're not talking about white refined sugar necessarily. If you get a fruit salad and it has oranges in there, and I don't know, some fruits, they might count, if they give it like on a label on the salad you buy, there's like nutrition, protein, carbohydrates, out of which sugars, and count fruit sugars because it has vegetables and fruits in there. That's a white refined sugar. But let's count as worst case scenario, about 17 grams of added sugar per 100 gram of products, okay, or product. If I use 1 tablespoon of that in my OMAD meal, even if it was 17 grams per 100 grams of sugar, okay, white refined sugar added to it, there might be 7 grams of sugar in that tablespoon. And I'm only eating once and adding that much of something that has sugar added to it. Yeah, it's going to end up being sub 20 grams per day. See? So, here's another thing. that I did. I'm an augmenting optimizer. So I like to take a pre-existing good product and optimize it, customize it. For example, I buy lactose-free butter, and then I grate garlic in it, which contains allicin, which is like a healthy ingredient. So it's like raw garlic. It's healthy, okay? It has health benefits. There's like garlic butter. It makes it more tasty. Buy garlic, grates garlic into it. Now it's garlic butter. It's tastier and healthy. It's got allicin in it. Let's add some turmeric, ginger, black pepper, Himalayan pink salt to it, and pour in some olive oil and stir it up. See? So if you would market it now, what I made, it'd be like lactose-free butter with olive oil, anti-inflammatory spices, chili, garlic, and all that. Like garlic, but you understand? So this, I bought this, and it's like almost a liter of ketchup with jalapeno. And then I added some of this chili, and some of this super chili, some olive oil, salt, and vitamin C, mostly for the preservative effect, okay, to keep it fresh longer. So that's a little bit of a detour, but that's also part of my diet. I like to incorporate healthy spices when I'm eating. Now, I feel the need to counterbalance. That's something I want to talk about, teach people. Here are 3 spices you can add. Here's some spices, how to make your teaching diet. Here's some things you can add to your food to make it healthier, okay? First of all, have low sugar, okay? Secondly, don't use inflammatory seed oils. What I recommend cooking fats is coconut oil, avocado, and olive oil. Those are my favorite fats, understand? I like avocado, coconut oil, and olive oil, and real butter, as opposed to the Frankenstein butter they have in the supermarket. And you kind of have to look. It's like palm oil, shea oil, hydrogenated, so whatever, okay? Then this is the type of butter I like to buy. It comes like in a brick, that's my favorite one. And it's like cream from milk and salt or something like this, okay? So anyways, the point. Healthy fats, coconut oil. Coconut oil is the best all-round cooking fat, food fat, as far as I'm concerned. Because you can do high temperature cooking, you can do all kinds of cooking with it. You can have like a wok and have stir fry at a high temperature. It doesn't readily oxidize, it has a high smoking point. It's a healthy fat, not just neutral, it's not one of these toxic fats, okay? But it's positives. It's not just neutral, well, it's a fat that's not as bad as linseed oil, which was an industrial lubricant, okay? Or like canola or something like this. Some of these oils, I bought them. This, for example, this linseed oil, I bought it to lubricate my air guns, okay? I bought CO2 air guns, okay? I like to shoot with air guns. And I used it as a lubricant for the air gun, okay? Not in my cooking, which is why I have so much left in there, understand? And it's pretty cheap because it's an industrial lubricant, and they have so much of it, understand? Easy to extract it. So it's like just have like 3-4 air guns, and I've given away most of it. I just have one left, okay? A cheap one. There's still a lot of it left, and it's maybe $7 or something like this. I could use it for a lifetime of air gun lubrication, okay? So anyway, here's the point. So yeah, olive oil, healthy fat, low smoking point. So you can't really use that for high temperature cooking or frying stuff. If you want to retain the polyphenols, it contains polyphenols. If you want to retain as much health benefit, you got a deciliter of raw olive oil. It has this much health benefit, polyphenols and stuff. Now, if you overheat it, it loses all that, the alignment, okay? And the more you overheat, the more it loses. So yeah, olive oil is a good fat. Ultimately consumed raw, like drizzle over your food after you're done cooking and have played with it, for example. Or added after you turn it off the heat and like the food is cooling down, and you can add a little bit of olive oil. So that's how I use it. I don't overheat it. Coconut oil, it has a high smoking point. You can cook with it at a high temperature, like stir frying food. You can have olive oil, coconut oil, and it doesn't burn. It has a high smoking point. It's a healthy fat. It's organic coconut oil. Cold pressed virgin, okay. So anyways, I like my coconut oil like my wife. Organic and virgin, okay. And close to my body also. So what is the point? So okay. So it's a point. Yeah. Yeah, so anyways the point, that's fucking. So anyways the point. So the point is this. Yeah, so I'm making a low sugar diet, okay? Less than 20 grams of sugar per day. And that's not that hard to believe. Because if you look at my diet, my ingredients, it's not like sugary stuff in there, understand? And it's all dessert. So a lot of times the grams, a lot of grams, the few grams in my meals come from like maybe if I buy sriracha hot chili sauce and it has sugar in it, and the OMAD meals like French fries, and I put like a tablespoon of sriracha on the plate to dip the French fries in. Maybe there's 4.5 grams of sugar in that sriracha hot chili sauce, okay? And I eat it 1 time per day. And maybe if the caramel mackerel fillet or the Heinz beans tomato sauce, that would have like a little bit of added sugar, it's still gonna be less than 20 grams, okay? So, I'm making a low sugar diet. Here's the protocol once again. I got off into talk about how I live as I learn, understand? So here's the point. Mike's Pro Health Fitness protocol. People look to improve their health fitness. 1, cut down on daily sugar intake. Aim to stay below 20 grams of sugar. If I go clear 100, very few people will get on the protocol. And some people, they be like, I'm not doing it. When if you go like, well, put a limit where it's like, this is enough to make a difference. There's more people willing to get on the protocol. So, aim to stay below 20 grams of sugar. So, Mike's SAHA Pro Health Fitness protocol. 1, cut down the daily sugar intake. Aim to stay below 20 grams of sugar per day. Okay? And you want to cancel for 10 grams of sugar. And the simple things, just stop buying things that are full of sugar, understand? And have it part of your diet. Just stop buying sodas and ice cream and cookies and having dessert with your meals if you eat it several times a day, don't do OMAD fast like I do. And just stop buying stuff that has sugar in it. And if you buy real food, it's gonna not have sugar in it. See? What is my meal like? Go buy a big pack of hamburgers. When I do my shopping for like the next month, a lot of times I common stuff. It's like a big pack of hamburgers. Just the hamburger, not the buns. They're like 90 grams, sometimes I buy thicker ones. Okay? And if you read the ingredient list, there's no sugar in there. And people go, oh, it's so processed. You're choosing to buy the processed food. If I go to the ICA supermarket, they're gonna have frozen meat out there. And they're gonna have a big pack of hamburgers. And if I look at the ingredients, it's like ingredients, contents, hamburger, like beef, 98% or something like this. Water and salt or something like this, okay? See? And it's not gonna be sugar and like vegetable oil and seasonings and yada yada. So they're gonna have frozen meat that okay? What's that? It's real food, okay? It's meat. What else do I buy on the regular? Well, maybe a big pack of rice or something like this. It's carbohydrates, but it doesn't contain sugar, okay? What else do I buy sometimes? A hard bread, gluten-free. And it's not loaded with sugar, understand? So, meat and eggs, they're gonna have that, and that's real food, that's healthy food. It's like meat and eggs and fats, see? Protein and fats. That's part of a normal healthy diet that the body's designed for. Animal source protein and fat, because there's fat in animals, okay? So animal source protein and fat, it is healthy. So anyway, here's the point. And people have been trained to eat this like, kind of like McDonald's diet, understand? Like a Happy Meal, where it's like this, everything's gotta have condiments and dippings with a lot of sugar in it, and everything's gotta taste super well like a restaurant meal or something like this. And it's gotta be this and every other thing. It's like I eat simple food a lot of times. It's just some meat, eggs, fat, and a lot of spices. So anyway, here's the point. Mike's protocol. Here's my protocol. Aim to stay below 20 grams of sugar per day. 1, reduce your daily sugar intake. Aim to stay below 20 grams of sugar per day. 2, detox your life generally, which means reduce your daily toxin exposure. Remove as many toxin sources in your life as possible. And for the average person, people are using shampoo with like 16 ingredients in it. Fragrance, perfume, styrene, comes in a plastic bottle too, if you sort of hear about microplastics and things like this. Okay, they use softener. They spray perfume and use deodorant on them, okay? They use countertop cleaner and all this. So as a general rule of thumb, my advice, if it's a commercial popular product, like what most people use to shower, clean the countertops, and fragrance. You can count on being toxic, bad for your health, I would say. Okay. What do I use? What can you replace that with? Natural Leppo soap. And that's a type, not a brand, okay? So, natural Leppo soap is what I use to shower, clean my floors with a bucket and mop, do countertop cleaning, wash my hands. So what if people get that protocol, replace some of these hydrogen cleaning chemicals, they have less fragrance exposure, they have less chemical exposure from all these hydrogen cleaning products. And if that's too much for you, at least replace one of them. It's not for people, oh, I don't want to stop all these perfume fragrance products. But if you replace one of them, you at least get less toxic exposure, okay? If you would switch to have a bar of natural Leppo soap, unfragranced, unperfumed in the bathroom, so every time you wash your hands after you've done your business, you're not releasing perfume and expose yourself to these chemicals. It's like one less exposure per day. So go on a low sugar diet, one, detox like dinnerly. And big things like reduce your daily exposure to these chemicals and replace as many of these hydrogen chemicals as possible with more natural alternatives such as natural Leppo soap. And then in the category of detox your life, there's other things. So it's like, well, you can also get a water filter, start filter your tap water, because you're gonna have these trace amounts of toxins in the tap water, depending on where you live, understand? Okay, so that can also feed into the detox life protocol. So on and so forth. Okay. 3, get on my supplement protocol. 1, vitamin C, 6 grams of vitamin C per day, 2 grams 3 times per day, 2 grams morning, 2 grams middle of the day, 2 grams end of the day. What type of vitamin C? Pure ascorbic acid, ultimately, that's what I recommend, like the best. Pure ascorbic acid, either in capsules or in loose powder, and make your vitamin C well like I do. Okay. That's what is recommended by me, okay? So, pure ascorbic acid powder, either in capsules, or you buy the powder in bulk, doesn't have to be this brand, okay? And make your vitamin C water. That's what I do. And you can watch my other videos for more details, like how to dose yourself, how to make your vitamin C water, and how to grow this. It's not that complicated, but basically, pure vitamin C, okay? Additional supplements I recommend to take. Vitamin D3, K2, magnesium, okay? Ultimately, you also take a good B complex every day. Another supplement is good to take omega-3 fish oil. So on and so forth. So, that's the protocol, okay? And I'm getting ready to, you know what, I'm going to have a smoke. Notice how the protocol is that if you're a smoker, stop smoking, detox your life, okay? Because I'd be a hypocrite, that's why it's not on the protocol. If I wasn't a smoker, I'd probably add that. If you're a smoker, quit smoking somebody. Yeah, I wouldn't get it. So here's the point. So, but Mike, now you can, people are like triggered by me talking about his superior discipline and I'm in better shape, and it's like, but Mike, but what about it? But Mike, what about you smoking cigarettes? Yeah, I smoke cigarettes and I have better cardio than you. So what are you doing? But the average person doesn't have the cardio lung performance that I do, despite not smoking cigarettes. I've been like a pack a day smoking since I was like 16 years old. And I'm acing lung tests to tell me I got super lungs. Okay? And most people couldn't match my cardio performance, my exercising. So I'm not saying that smoke is good for the lungs, okay? But it's like, what are you doing if your lung performance cardio is worse than a smoker's, okay? Maybe it's all these chemical fumes you're inhaling every day, okay? While being vitamin C deficient about it. Maybe that's something to do with it. And having low T for men, because that also leads to the bad performance. Like low, okay. Actually, having high testosterone is a better cardio. Okay. Like workload and things like this. So anyway, that's the point. So we're gonna get to cooking, okay. After having a cigarette. And I don't recommend people to smoke. As a matter of fact, my cereals advice to people is, if you're not a smoker, I recommend that you don't start, okay? Now, why? Okay, well, the less addictions you have, physical dependencies, the better, okay? Because addiction interferes with your freedom, okay? Like hypothetically at least, okay? So, most people are caffeine addicted. They're addicted to caffeine because most people start having a cup of coffee at least one per day after they become adults. And if you drink a cup of coffee, you get 50 plus milligrams of caffeine every day for 30 plus days in a row, your body acquires dependency, becomes physically addicted, okay? So if you cease administration of the substance that you've acquired dependency upon, you will have withdrawal stress. You will experience withdrawal, discontinuation. So you start feeling like you want a cup of coffee. Headaches is one of the symptoms of caffeine withdrawal. People get headaches and they feel bad, okay? So, and nicotine too. So nicotine is addictive. So if you start consuming tobacco products, you become physically addicted to it, okay? Eventually. And which means that now you kind of, unless you make sure that you have access to nicotine, you're gonna have withdrawal. See? So that's a limitation of your freedom. Okay. So the less addictions you have, the better. And also smoking things is not great for your health. Okay. So I recommend people that don't smoke, don't start. Okay. And it's not that glamorous, as I said. Being a person that's never been rich and been a smoker since a teenager, it's happened several times. It's like I had to call a favor and like ask somebody, pretty please, if they could come over to my house and pack a cigarettes because I ran out or something like this. See? And other times I ran out in the middle of the night, I'm living in the village, there's nothing open. And I had to like go outside in the middle of the night and look for like cigarette butts that somebody threw on the ground and pick it up, got a pipe at home to cover me and get like a hit of tobacco so I can like postpone going nuts from nicotine withdrawal for a few more hours until the like small town store opens at 7 in the morning, you understand? So it's not that glamorous, you understand? Do you understand? So it's like, if you start smoking, you become addicted to it, and that can lead to problems, okay? Like for example, when I went to the psych ward for being saner than most people in Sweden and speaking the truth, okay? Okay, and that's what they wrote on the arrest warrant too. This guy needs to be the psych ward for being saner than the average Swede speaking the truth, okay? So I would love it if they were honest, but anyway, that's the point. So, yeah, so I recommend people, if you don't smoke, don't start, okay? Now, the average person is a sugar addict, and I would be surprised if eating a high sugar diet hurts your health about as much as being a one pack a day smoker. I mean, the average person inhaling all these chemical fumes every day, the countertop cleaner, shampoo, perfume, softener, and eating a high sugar diet, I would not be surprised if that is at least as bad as smoking a pack of cigarettes per day. Like 50 plus grams of sugar and inhaling all these chemical fumes every day from hiding home cleaning products, especially in people who are vitamin C deficient. And I can tell that waking up this morning, I was dehydrated. And drinking that hydration coffee with the salt and coconut milk in it helped to get me more hydrated. So, I gotta get to meal prepping, cooking my OMAD meal. It's pretty cold there. Okay, so back to cooking. Gonna start cooking my OMAD fasting. I have considered at times to start have my OMAD meal a bit early in the day. And today I'm cooking a little bit. I start cooking. A lot of times I take like 2-3 hours or 4 from start to cook until eating. Like slow cook. Like sometimes I cook it and then I put on like a heating temperature. To keep it on the stove or on like a heating temperature. And it's ready to make my fast when I decide to. So anyway, I'm gonna be cooking today's OMAD meal here. And I think pretty simple. It's like I've been having gluten-free macaroni fusilli for my OMAD meals with other ingredients, of course, for a few days. I also have rice. I bought a food box from Delitia, and I bought rice. I bought 2 kilos of gluten-free pasta, 3 kilos of rice. And yesterday I was thinking maybe I have rice today. No, I'll finish the gluten-free macaroni. So I think I use actually all of this today. Gluten-free fusilli. Pasta de oro. Sam Mills, healthy food, better life. Gluten-free fusilli. 100% corn pasta. One ingredient product. And I used it all. Not 500 grams, it was maybe 300 grams. So I'm gonna show the whole cooking process today. So I keep it simple. One of the benefits of doing OMAD fasting the one time per day is things become simpler. Meaning, it's easy if you're tracking something, like grams of proteins per day. You're just cooking one meal, and then if you kind of put, and I don't do that too much, like counting stuff. It's like I don't overdo the protein and stuff, okay? So, for example, I know that an egg contains around 30 grams of protein. So I think about sometimes, like, well, around 30 grams of protein for the 3 eggs. And sometimes I have a kind of macro for how much protein is in there. But it's like, I like to get at least 50 grams of protein per day, okay? At least 50 grams of protein. And I mean, if I had more money, maybe I get more. I do, whatever. So here we go. If you're buying rice, okay, you want to clean the rice, rinse it out thoroughly, because rice can contain trace amounts of arsenic in it. So it's important that you rinse the rice if you're having rice as part of daily diet. If they test rice, they find trace amounts of arsenic in rice that time. Now don't get paranoid. It's not like an LD50 dose having 1 serving of rice, okay? But it's still toxic. So you can either be like not often consume rice. If you do regularly, it's especially important that you clean it thoroughly. Now, even though this is not rice, just by habit, if something can be rinsed that I'm gonna boil, I rinse it before boiling it, okay? This is gluten-free macaroni, so I'm gonna be rinsing it. Turn on the stove here. Okay, so I'm not joking. Maybe that was them putting some butter. It's like that the timing was very suspicious. After do that little skip was like it started like lagging. It says reconnecting, okay, and the string froze. So I'm gonna do it again, okay, what I did before that. Oh hello, it's a deep state. Don't listen to this guy Mike's out telling you to eat less sugar and take the vitamins. We want you
or the high sugar diet and vitamin deficient, because that makes it dumb and easy to control. And if you take Mike's coaching advice, you'll be healthier, sharper, and harder to control by us. Okay, see? So I did it again. So I did a little skip there, and then right after that, it's like reconnecting. So I could tell by looking at the screen that the stream had frozen, and it's back. So yeah, anyway, when cooking, since it's a starchy food, it's easy that it gets burnt and burnt that gets stuck to the bottom. So what I like to do is add a little bit of coconut oil to it, and that helps to keep it from burning. So if the water boils away, having this little bit of coconut oil can help to keep from sticking to the bottom of the pan. So here we go. Today's OMAD fast break. And like I said before, I thought about starting to have my OMAD meals a little bit early in the day might be optimal. From my research about it's like digestion and sleep quality if eating right before going to bed and things like this. And also if I want to do more videos like this, where I'm cooking and have my OMAD meal, the lighting is better. So for different reasons, it might be optimal if I start have my OMAD meals a little bit early in the day, like in the afternoon or so. Okay, so what time is it now? As I'm trying to cook. It's 17:07. In the winter half of the year in Sweden, it gets dark really soon, like around 3, 4 or something. But now in the summer half of the month, it's better. So I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna add some salt. This is sea salt. This is Himalayan pink salt. Add a little bit of that. Now, the coconut milk. Organic coconut milk. No, coconut oil. Put it there, stir. Okay. You go. Now what I'm going to do is make my do-it-yourself natural rehydration drink. Finish this coffee. So here I'll be making my natural do-it-yourself rehydration drink. Once again, show my recipe for my natural do-it-yourself rehydration drink recipe. It doesn't contain sugar, nor chemical sweeteners such as aspartame, sucralose, whatever. So here's a little glass bottle. Okay. And this is Himalayan pink salt. Filtered water. And I'll add some vitamin C as well. Ascorbic acid. That's about 1.7 grams. Possibly more. Stir it a little bit. Then I add this coconut milk.
I don't know what the problem is, but like suddenly my stream started lagging here. And it happened several times. It goes reconnecting. So, this is my natural dude set-free hydration drink recipe without sugars and without chemical sweeteners. Without sugar and chemical sweeteners. Eliminate pink salt, coconut milk, and filtered water. And I don't know why the stream is malfunctioning, but it's like I started having weird error messages. Reconnect. I won't be surprised if it's the deep state messing with the stream. So there you go. Now this has started boiling. So I'm gonna turn down the heat. Well, you know what we do? We take off the lid and turn the heat down to level 6. And you know what? To make it al dente, I'm actually going to pour out most of the water. There you go. Let less can evaporate. And I'm gonna go check on the stream in the living room.
Now I'm going to add some more coconut onto this.
Stir.
Add more salt. Both sea salt and Himalayan pink salt. Stir more. Turmeric. Black pepper. No. Coconut milk. And I'm going to add both of these. This is Skull's chili, Scorpion Inferno hot sauce, and this is Mechanical Tabasco Band Scorpion sauce. Both of them are strong chili sauces. A little bit of that. A little bit of this. And then this customized ketchup. Next, gonna crack 3 eggs into this. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Följande hittar och flyger på sidan. Bundens pilsnerkorv. These are canned sausages. can of tuna and a can of natural plain tomato sauce here. Start with the can of tuna. I like to buy the tuna that comes in water because the other type comes in some kind of sea or sambal, or I prefer it in water. One can of tuna. So thus far, 4 pop-ups in there, 3 eggs, can of tuna. It's going to be a full can of mashed tomato sauce. Now I'm going to add some olive oil to this. Änglamark olivolja. Now I'm going to peel and grate some garlic into this. I'm going to end the stream and start a part 2.